like doing women's only meet sounds like the best way to do it. There hasn't been one in Adelaide for a really, really, really long time. And, you know, with the amount of people that I knew who wanted a space that's, you know, inclusive, that's safe enough for them, I feel like when they do see, you know, normal powerlifting meets, it's still quite male dominated in a way. Like there's still heavy metal music. It's still, you know, testosterone everywhere, which is fine. Like if, you know, for me who goes into these, you know, powerlifting comps or some of my other clients as well, like that is completely fine. But it's like, I want to be able to see different people compete. I want to be able to see novices go to a sanction level and feel like they're comfortable enough to do that. Or if they don't want to, that's fine. Because it's like, how many novices can a novice do before they're not a novice? So sometimes I find that that's also quite an issue where my clients go, well, I've done 3 novices now, like, but I don't want to do a sanctioned. So that's why I decided to open up Queen to the platform as a anyone could do it type of meet. I don't care whether you've competed for 10 years. I don't care whether this is your first week, you know, doing your first competition. Because I do think that there needs to be an environment where powerlifting can be fun again, because sometimes it gets a bit too serious. And, you know, just trying to make it more enjoyable and to bring people back into the sport, and especially women who might feel like it's an environment that isn't for them, or they just don't feel comfortable with it. I decided to make it no weigh-ins because, again, the consensus from most of my clients was, I want to do a powerlifting meet, but I don't want to weigh myself. I don't want to see the number. But the thing is that like you do some novices where you are required to weigh yourself because of how they kind of configure the total at the end, which is fair. But then that weight comes up on the scoreboard, or you do a sanctioned meet and you're put into a weight class. And it's like, how can you, like, obviously there gets to a certain point where you're doing a sanctioned meet, you have to be in a weight class. Like, unfortunately, you're going to have to know your weight. But for the people who just want to do it for fun, I don't think there needs to be that really serious bit of it, because it can affect people and how they feel. Especially, you know, sometimes when you see a lighter lifter and you are on, like for me personally, you know, being on at the under 90 kilo weight class, it can feel a bit like shit, like they're lifting so much more than me and I'm like 40 kilos heavier. You know what I mean? So then that kind of, you know, I don't want that stuff getting into other people's head and deterring them away from a sport that is fun, where it's like, how much weight can I lift? What can my body actually do? What am I capable of? Am I going to enjoy this? Am I going to have fun? I wanted to make it a charity meet as well. I still have not decided on what charity, because there's a lot of women's charities that I align with. So I still got plenty of time to do it. But I wanted to do that as well, just to kind of like make it so people, one, have fun and know that there is, like, it's going towards a good cause as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool, kind of your process and journey there. And I've never been like an elite level competitor, like power lifter. Like I love the sport. I love what it represents. At least like to me, it very much represents celebrating what the body can do, like what you touched
Yeah.
on earlier, versus what your body looks like. Which when we kind of look at like lifting sports, that's not always the case, especially because bodybuilding is still so prevalent, and that can have some carryover. And obviously, hey, bodily autonomy, if you want to mold your body in a certain way, go for it. But I think the
Yeah.
pressure to constantly like, you need to quote unquote look like you lift or what have you, versus let's focus on what your body can do and really
Yeah.
celebrate that. And I like the barrier of entry being as low as possible, so we can bring more people in to help celebrate that with us, because obviously there is like the higher tier, like world level lifting of powerlifting and whatnot. But you know, it's something about that celebration of the body and that expression of strength. And we know it runs so much deeper than just, oh yay, I like lifted a new PR. It's like it's something very internal and a good kind of pride and self-efficacy that I think comes out of powerlifting, to get overly deep about it. But I think a lot
Yeah.
of people can relate to that. And if we can share that with more people, I think is very cool, and make
Yeah.
more people feel welcome and invited. Like, hey, this is for you too. You know, like
Yeah.
you also get to come here.